As far as English medium discussion is concerned, there is no connection for the Nissarana because Nissarana is today on the Poe day. But anyway, we thought of continuing it. So I would like to cordially open the discussion. Please, if you have anything, we don't have a prepared topic for the moment. We are doing the interviews. Anyone who wish can join either Zoom or come here and present your own, how do you call, view and the remarks.
I read the Metta Sahagata Sutta.
Tathagata.
Yeah, the
Metta Sahagata Sutta.
Metta Sahagata.
Yeah, Metta Sahagata Sutta. And it says the abiding in equanimity diverts one mind to the base of nothingness. And I realized that this is conditioned. This is dependently a reason. So does that mean we have to give up at some point? Give up even equanimity as well.
Give up what?
Equanimity, upekka.
No. Equanimity is a relative thing. We are living in a very arrogant world, fighting world, and we know the friction. And therefore, we go to the Anapanasati or something like that to get rid of this, the sensuous world or sexual world. So, the moment you go to Anapana, you give up. So much of benefit. Single one breath. And then if you can continue it, Anapana, you can have first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Fourth jhana means upekka sati parisuddhin, chatutta jhana. There upekka become prominent. The first jhana, takka vichara prominent. Second jhana is piti, sukha. But fourth jhana, upekka is so prominent, even the breath is not there, not palatable. You can still be there. If you're going to check whether I am in the fourth jhana, you will break the fourth jhana. And next, for 5, 6, 7, 8, all based on upekka. And then still it is not nibbana. The Buddha to be went into that alara kala muddakara putta, they went to the nothingness. Oh, nivasanya, nasanya, there is the concept and the perception, have or have not kind of thing. So that means almost nothing. But still, when Ananda is asking Buddha, Bhante, that if someone is going to akinchanyayatana, that when nothingness is endless, nothingness is infinite. Oh, perception, no, neither no perception. Then the Buddha says, even at that level, there is an attachment. I am the person who went up to the seventh jhana. I am the person who went to the eighth jhana. So that attachment is almost like attachment to the sex. Attachment to the sensuous. This thing from the Buddhist point of view. So how to get rid of that? Still you have, because you claim, I am the person who achieved that. And that is natural. The Buddha is just showing. And then what to do? There is no, up to that, the linear system is valid. There onward, you have to practice to go into nothingness or perception or neither nor perception. Go without effort. You practice so much. At the beginning, it's a full of effort to get the rupa jhana, arupa jhana, get rid of the sensuous pleasure. We have that experience. But when you come up to that nothingness, you know still the ego is there. You know nothingness is relative, it is not absolute. What you have to do is practice in such a way that must be your second nature. That means effortlessly. In walking meditation, very difficult to take into the left leg, right leg because so much of cross thoughts. But later, once you come, you will understand the walking happen automatically or effortlessly. Like that, you have to go to the nothingness and come back to the things. And again go to nothingness and come back to the things. At the beginning, it is, you think, manipulated by self. You have either nothingness, liking for nothingness or something. But when it is happening in a autopiloting mode, or it is happening in an effortless way, it is an accident. And you can't claim that experience is mine. There is no manipulation. So that is almost like Sanya Vedaita Nirodha. That is Venerable Sister the Dhammajiva is explaining in the Maha Sutta. Maha Sutta, when you go to that, there's no determination, you don't know. You have no control. The coming out of that, you have no control. Maximum you can stay 7 days.
Oh.
Maximum. Then you will die. If someone is not going to give something dana. And if someone is going to give, he will get the highest merits of giving dana. But what I like to share with you all is we are experiencing it in the thought moments. But we don't know how to discriminate it from the other filthy thoughts, filthy thought moment. So on that sense, the Buddha says Kalyanamitta is the best. The only way the Kalyanamitta is showing you is maximizing something you can't gauge, you can't size it. It is a silent sermon. So that is what we become monks and be under a teacher and one under a object of meditation, one in meditation place. It may be Kalyanamitta or not. We don't know. You can verify the day you become Kalyanamitta. Then you can say, yes, path is correct because now I am a Kalyanamitta. So it is very difficult with the business world and economy and the supply and demand theory. This you have to give up your whole whole likings and disliking, and your body. Slowly we are doing it, isn't it?
Yes, my master. Because I think this brings me to the other one the other thing I experienced a few days ago. I was exchanging emails with Dhamma Bante, and then he sent me something, and then I had to think about it to reply to him. But after thinking about it for some time, I feel too much thinking. So I just sat there and it automatically went into meditative mood. And I didn't know. And then after I came out from it, I realized, done it for an hour or so or something like that. And I didn't know how long I've been in there. And yeah, I didn't say I want to meditate. I just thought, so many thoughts. I would just sit there for a while and let it disperse. And then instead it became quite a long while.
Within that, even that busy and naughty mind, underneath there's a liberation, there's a freedom, there's a lack of tension and frustration. But it's smeared by so much of filthy thoughts, you never think there's a liberation below. But if you're Kalyanamitta, you never look at the filthy thoughts. You see through and you see the dots of the freedom. And I read the book, Fear of Freedom. It's a second-hand book. Every thing is underlined by the previous readers. But Eric Fromm. And in one place he's arguing, you are seeking of freedom, but when the freedom happens, you are frightening. You feel like lost. You feel like nothing to say. He's asking the freedom, you hyperthyroid, because you are in such a stress, in such a tension. So whenever the freedom happens, you can be relatively, I am fairly free from the time and space. And again, you come back to the same muck, same filthy language, filthy thoughts, and and again go there. And when you are practicing, is there any absolute situation called like freedom? Does freedom exist? Not relative way, absolute way.
I guess it does exist.
That's what Buddha says Nibbana. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know because they have no God. They come to philosophy, and by arguing, they can't think. They can talk about the disturbances. Masters, different subjects, and you can have the subject matter specialist also. But the freedom, but the nothingness, but the emptiness, but the is it existing?
So these Westerners came to Nibbana without knowing it's Nibbana.
They get lost. They go to the psychiatrist. They go to the asylum. and they're completely lost. But their rationality, they have touched a point. But they says, he's not giving the answer. Is there existing something called freedom? No. We have troubles. When the troubles are not there, opposite is there. But no, intrinsic freedom. There is no intrinsic health. There is no intrinsic free of defilements. But the Buddha says it exists. That we don't believe. But partly we have experienced relative freedom, relative nothingness. That also appears like lost. We lost the path. We are nowhere. So we go to the God, we go to the black magic people, we go to the this way, that way, go for the binding, the spiritual and all the kind of thing. And that is human nature. Because they don't believe at the bottom line there is an existence of freedom. So they are slaves. They are philosophers. When you are reading as a Buddhist, I can say the Buddha says, no, there is. Till I achieve it, I never start talking to you. I know everyone is in relatively freedom and the friction. But the friction is very common. It's in the sex you have, communism you have, materialism you have. It's a vast subject. But free of it, can our mind comprehend? Can mind exist under such circumstances? No. Mind has no base, no foundation, and no symptom, no sign. So that is Advaita Vedanta also exactly it says, as far as there is a quality, you can measure, you are filthy. No qualities, immeasurable, absolute. It says, Suguna Vijnana, Nirguna Vijnana. Suguna means there are some qualities. You are a good person, or you are a bad person, you are very good in talking and you can't talk. All the kind of attributes. But there is a Nirguna Vijnana, no one can show. But in this air, a lot of, water vapor, humidity. You can't point it out. When it is congested, once you become water, yes. Once you become ice, you can throw. But the vapor, so can vapor exist? Or is it a relative to the water and the ice? Or is the vapor is something natural? So these are the philosophical questions. But in meditation, we can get into that in the rational thinking and deductive thinking. But these things are already discussed subjects. And reading, sometimes you come across that kind of bright arguments, and you feel they are lost. We are winning. Because you experience the completely freedom and the complete bogged down situation in thinking. And can one person be in both these extremes? They are quite tiring. So when you come to the middle, equanimity. Is that the answer? Yes. Don't get attached to the middle part. Have you heard about?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Also,
But the Advaita Vedanta, if I got correctly, they say you have to adhere to the middle path, and that's the call. But the Gunatan told that your view is wrong. Advaita is different from the Buddha. But whatever it may be, they hold into that because that gives us so much of release. You become a slave to equanimity. Equanimity is a tool. You see, when we are rolling the heavy rocks, we put a pole and leverage it against one small peg. So leverage. So this is not a giant. It's an inactive point. You lever it. And then you can remove 10 times heavier than thing compared to you because of the pole and this thing. So without that, can we leverage? No. For leverage, we can take even the equanimity. But still you have to give it up. Once the thing taken up, we are not worship the leverage. But today Buddhists are worshipping those signs. So very difficult. Don't talk about that. Just mind your business. Mind your business. Because otherwise they will kill you. No mercy. So they are making their livelihood from that. We have no business to tell. We have to say, yes, you do it, no harm, if you have any benefit. But I am not telling, I am not doing it. I do it without telling. That's monkhood.
So, in a sense, we are doing very well here. That's why you always say we are doing very well here, because we are
Now, if
experiencing.
you have feel like losing, that you are gaining. That's completely opposite. If you are gaining, you are losing. Because you become self-boosted and telling that I am a spiritual being and other people are dirty beings and I am not so. I also was like that and now I am. That moment you lost, you become very humble. One day you sleep completely because you have body pain. At that time you lost. You are a very bad character. And very humble. Very humble what to do. But I had 4-5 days feverish. And still the children come. I again feel like going and play. And then I fall down. I feel like nothing like sleeping. But it's not done. As being a monk, sleeping in the midday. So I went to Nissarana. I am not going to Pindapata. And Kuti number 19 came and told Bhante, very happy to see you. May I come in? I looking at the clock, 10 minutes to 12. I have not taken the lunch.
Oh.
So he is going to come and prepare this thing. Then I told, please give me, otherwise Dhanasala will be at the hell. So I will run there. Within 5 minutes I will eat something and come back. I don't have any hunger. But time is 12. Bhante, you have not taken the meal. That's what I am telling. Please get out. I will go there and come back. So these completely timetable jammed. The mind clock, mental clock, completely gone wrong. So I thought so happy. I don't know whether it is night or day. All of a sudden I get up. I know how to entertain you. But I don't entertain your mistakes. Then I blame you.
Oh, yes, I have a lot.
So therefore you have to understand, reveal your mistakes. And by that you can understand we have human error. Artificial information, intelligence, they don't have human error. No limits of mistakes. But we human beings, we have human error. So relatively we are better people. I mean, but don't ask whether progressing or regressing. So you have to keep on doing till it happens automatically. That's the short answer. Equanimity also autopiloting. Going from the equanimity also autopiloting. And you are just a distance observer. Just observe. Difficult, but can do. It's possible.
Yes, sir.
Asai Swami Nohanse, this is Vanaya.
I thought Nissarana is lost and Osada is dead. Passed away.
I just came from the Pavarana ceremony. So now
Wish you all the best. Yes.
I am able to join. I think I came on time.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, Swami
Welcome.
Nohanse.
We have 4 monks, with me 5 monks from the Katukaliya. We thought of not reading the sutta, but instead talking about impromptu situation, questions and answers and interview reports.
I think those are the best kinds of discussion, actually. And when I jumped into the discussion, it was when you were talking about, think Chula Vedala Sutta and
Maha
Vedala. Yes, and there was this nun who said that when you're going into this cessation, you don't know, and when you come out of this cessation, you are also not aware of it. And this this practice, it piques my interest very much. When I hear discussion on this, my heart becomes sort of elevated and very inflamed with.
That means you are egotistic. You become very egotistic, egocentric.
Yes.
So education is the killer. Education is the killer. That is what it says, I know this, I don't know this. So all the time it is discouraging. Becoming learned or becoming not learning, it's a natural thing. If there are no schools, people will be better. So it must not be an obligatory school. You keep it open. Any person who wishes come and join it. And the day, the moment, your knowledge appearing like an impromptu. This is called quick enlightenment. It is not belongs to you. You can't claim it. So that is the beauty of Buddha. That's the beauty of nature. That's the beauty of Taoism.
Yes, and Swaminathan said this is not just something that you can discuss with anyone, because once you start saying something like this to someone, then it doesn't even make sense, and it feels like a heretic idea, something that is out there, something that is not taught by the Buddha. I find that with majority, maybe the public, you cannot just discuss this with anyone. You must have a certain understanding of who is going to understand what you're saying. Maybe someone who is practicing the same thing as you, or maybe someone that you're living with in the monastery. Otherwise, this is not common knowledge. It is seen as something, sort of an outside teaching, right?
No, I thought of sharing my ideas because I have been talking like this for about 20, 30 years. So when I talk like these contradictory things, people understand. But if you Kaluamdru going to talk, they will throw stones to you. You can't do it. You have to wait. You have to become a white monk. Whitewashed monk.
Is
that? Whitewashed. So therefore, wait till that you become a Maha Thero, about 40 vassas. And then by that time you can't talk, you can't see, you can't hear, you are disabled. So this is the way, this is the beauty of the truth. So often I say, not I am saying, happening is contradictory things. So monks are not happy with me. Buddhists are not happy with me. Organizations are not happy with me. Constitutions are not happy with me. But they want me to lead the constitution, lead the organization. I thrash it out. When Krishnamurti was appointed as the spiritual advisor to the Star organization in the Switzerland, first thing he did was, today I dissolve the Star organization. I don't like institutes. I was waiting till today because now today or not I am the executive powers. I use it to dissolve it. He's a very calm person, but very, very radical, very contradictory. So once he came to Sri Lanka in 1988, I listened to 2 talks. Now all we were in Nilambe, everyone was happy because he is talking the same language, same thing. So this is the way I am so lucky. I am one of the luckiest people because I know this is very difficult to articulate, very difficult to express. But when we meet a group like that, I have no limits. But at the other time, I don't like meeting people. I don't like socialization. I like to be at home. But I am now too much popular. People asking this and that. So I am learning how to disappoint people. Can't help. Can't help. So much of appointments. So I thought of, never mind. As much as possible, I cater But whenever impossible, I say simply impossible because a health issue or I have some other meetings or like that. So disappointment is a release for me, freedom for me. Appointed time, it is not happening. So free. It's an accident, but it is, I like that kind of accidents. Hello, Amadro.
Hey, my Swami Nohanse. Since we are just having a discussion, is it okay if I bring up another topic, but of course related to
No problem. All
meditation?
open discussion.
All right. Swami Nohanse, I would like to discuss about the Brahma Vihara. I
Yeah.
have already brought this topic up in the past, but I just thought maybe we could flesh it out a little bit more. Meditating on this for Brahma Vihara, some places it is taught, it is encouraged, but some other places it is not. It is just about be mindful, whatever emotions arise, whatever feelings arise, that metta, that karuna, that upekha, you just observe it as it's just yet another object of the mind, and it arises and it passes away. It is impermanent. It is anicca. It is dukkha. It is anatta. Is this your take on the Brahma Vihara?
Yeah, Brahma Vihara you can take as a therapeutic as well as preventative. The preventative Brahma Vihara is we are endowed with. This is called body knowledge. Metta is flat rate wishing well-being for all the beings. Karuna is wishing well-being for the already suffering people. Mudita means be happy and well-wishing for the already achieved people. And equanimity, you do these three whenever possible. I mean, that is common sense. I think it is endowment. But therapeutic way, some people come and ask, Bhante, I am in suffering, please preach parita or give me a pirit nool, the thread. You can do it. It's a therapeutic. But that person is not doing it for the Nibbana. Definitely no. But whenever the Metta Karuna Mudita failed, then you go to Upekha. The best example given is the mother with the child. And when the child born, it's like just a flesh. Completely on mother. Last day in the Universal Children Day, one girl, grade 1, she came and she gave a talk about my mother. And people were so moved the way she presented. I mean, she says, this is my mother, I understand it. I mean, if someone taught her to tell like that, never mind. That means full metta. It's called Mahatayata Niyam Putrang, Ayusa Eka Putra Manurake, Evampi Sabba Bhutesu. So that's a mother. But the mother can't do the child in the next door. Mother can do only her, this thing that the Buddha is exemplified. The karuna is when the child fallen sick, runny nose and headache, and when the tooth are becoming, the stomach troubles happen, and the child can't explain it. Mother is doing with full understanding. That's called karuna. After that, he is going to school and getting pass and having all the kind of other relationships, with friends and bringing friends at home and parties, and then she has mudita. But that boy or girl get a boyfriend or girlfriend, then the mother become a hatred. In Sri Lanka, whenever you get a girlfriend and the mother-in-law, so utterly born hatred, Nandamaleli. And when that happens, she has nothing to do. She know her full of love. She know her karuna when the child was sick. And when she knows when he or she is achieving, is so happy. Now, he or she hate the mother. What to do? Karuna, no, upekha. So Venerable Kemananda has written very good on all the 40 Kammathana, And specifically on the Brahma Vihara, he has written in Sinhala his article on Upekha. I just came to Nissarana as a layperson. At that time, they were proofreading. I am not very good in Sinhala, but anyway, they selected me also. I went through. And I found it is such a balance, mature. And then it was published. Samasatalis Karmasthana, we have books, the thick book, and they are very nicely explained. So when the Upekha happened, people consider this as the ultimatum. No, Buddha says, this is still you are in the sansaric journey. You are not go beyond the orbit. So therefore they have utility value, they have preventative value. Preventative value called our defense system. Each and everyone is, we have evolved among the other animals. So we know what to do when the happy happens, when the hatred happens. It's a body knowledge. People never consider body knowledge if she is a learned person. They go to the books. Ultimately, they destroy or undermine their body knowledge. And that's completely happened 100% in artificial intelligence. Body knowledge lost. Everything is, if you have the question, answer is there. Always it is evolving. But body knowledge is not perfect, but it's the human mistake. Other person will sympathize you. Yes, he has tried. Failed. Can't tell, because I also have fallen into the same trap. So likewise, the Buddha, given the maximum with ethics, with social responsibility, and one's own liberation. When that happened, Mitta Karuna Mudita Upekha is Montessori. They are not advanced classes. Only if you can, it is some kind of a relationship with Upekha. But Upekha also misunderstood. And people happy to be with Upekha, but they will never touch Vipassana. In Vipassana, just before coming, I gave 10 minutes talk. It will appear in Ceylon Daily. Mindfulness and Upekha. Mindfulness and compassion. So I try my best to do something because I hate Karuna. But anyway, it happened me to give 10 minutes. I told, first and foremost, have compassion to your body. Sit comfortably. People don't know. And people don't know what to do when you become hateful. People don't know what to do when you become love. And the compassion means, whenever there is no drastic hate or drastic love, be and sit comfortably. People don't know. You see people always sitting in an awkward manner. So in the last discussion here, I told that when the Buddha is sitting, he is sitting in a very symmetrical, comfortable way. So even the tsunami waves can't break it. So they highlighted it. You know why the Buddha statues are not broken in the tsunami? Because he is sitting symmetrically. That is compassion. But we people, when we are doing something, we hate our body. We destroy our body. So therefore, ultimately, we have pent-up energy, tension and frustration. So you see the corporate world. So they have to have pills and operations and counseling for compassion, because it's a homemade. It's a domestic product. Because they are so away from their bodily compassion, self-well-being. So therefore, I think Venerable Jnanaponika also has written, it's been translated even into Sinhala, for sublime this thing. And Pandita Sayadaw's book, I got it from Malaysia, Sujivo. Venerable Sujivo. You know Sujivo? He's an agriculturist. Yes, you all hate agriculture. No? Never mind. He is a Samanera and he is running a center in Slovakia and some people go, and he is a disciple of Pandita Sayadaw. And he has written for sublime meditation, and everything look from compassion, mindfulness point of view. Earlier I had a photostat copy, but now I think in the main library we have. But don't look for the sublime meditation, but look for Sujiva, the author. Definitely, you may get down from the internet. Is it that enough, Kalu Amaduro?
Yes,
Do you have
yes,
anything to say?
Swaminathan.
You have nothing to contribute?
That was a question that I had to pose, so I will have to digest that response. I do feel that I agree with much of it, not just intellectually, but I think that it agrees with the practice itself, the meditation itself, that when you are not having any hatred or when you are not having any lust, then right there is compassion. Because now you are harmless, you are blameless, there is no unwholesomeness to yourself, and there is no unwholesomeness to others. And if that is not compassion, I don't know what else we can call compassion. So, sadhu, sadhu,
That
sadhu.
is homemade compassion, that is the preventative compassion. But often people are talking about the therapeutic compassion. And Dalai Lama, he says, Western world says emotions are negative for the mind. But he says, compassion is an emotion, it is positive. So he says, this is my religion. Because he cannot expect in this very life. That is their belief. So he has to do compassion. Bodhisattva, he says, till even the blade of grass becoming enlightened, I will not become enlightened. Because it's selfish. So he has the full of compassion, that is called Bodhisattva vow. And just I am coming, and then Kalwamdra was passing me without respecting me. I got so angry. And unlucky enough, Kalwamdra came back and told Bante, do you think that I have to go to Katukalia and teach these two Singaporeans, or whether Singaporeans will come back to Nissarana? Then I told you, fellow, better to come to Katukalia. That will be nice, but I am hitting you because you bloody fool, when I am coming, you ignore. What the hell you are talking, Bante? I saw you are coming. No, then you have to salute me, you have to respect me. Then he told, yes, I am saluting you, Bante, but I love you, Bante. Then I told two Singaporeans, they are waiting till you come. Kalwamdru,
Yes. Okay, Bante.
that is my compassion. That is my compassion. That's the way I hit you. I have no any regret. Why should I only give 2 blows rather than 3 or only 1? I gave 2. That's enough. That's compassion. You understand?
Yes, Bante. I understand, and I'm looking forward to beginning the classes with the Singaporeans. I've been told the locals here are starting tomorrow.
Yeah, that is what. But if you are here, you can make a timetable. And we experience little mild climate. Today also a little bit humid. Yesterday also a little bit drizzling. But 2 days before they have experienced a nice rain. And Tisa River water level gone. It is not due to the rain, but I think irrigation, the supply is high. So the water table will go there, and wildlife and everything is, plants and everything is new. You are welcome. Anyone wish to talk? We have about 15 minutes.
Avsarai Bante, Vimal Nissarana indicated to talk.
Yes, Vimal, please. Correct.
Vimal, you can talk now.
Much merits for the time. Avsarai Bante, actually, it was a nice discussion throughout the single also. I listened actually. In between that, there was a silent sermon also. Actually, what you could say, it is silently, it is due to signal issues and all. So for that English Dhamma discussion, I take this topic actually mentioned about the body knowledge and all. So I am refreshing my project management skills. Reading the book, it capture this sort of knowledge there's a two different knowledge. Talk about the contradictory or ambiguity sort of things. Explicit and tacit knowledge. They explain, like, I will read a few paragraphs, what it says. Explicit knowledge can be readily codified. This is we can code it using words, pictures, numbers. For example, step to a new process are explicit knowledge, sorry for the pronunciation, knowledge that can be documented. Explicit knowledge can be distributed using information management tools to connect people to information such as manual registered web search even. So we are frequently touched with those things, and database. So next will come tacit knowledge is challenging to express as it cannot be codified. This is something, knowledge is cannot be codified, cannot be expressed. It is a silent sort of thing. So body knowledge, as you mentioned, tacit knowledge is comprised of experience, insight, and practical knowledge or skill. This is the content about that. Tacit knowledge is shared by connecting people who need knowledge with people who have the knowledge. This is the beauty of that. This can be accomplished via networking, interviews, job shadowing, discussions like these we are every day in a week, 2-3 days, forums, workshops, other similar methods. That is what I want to share, this two contradictory knowledge. Something is expressible, something is not expressible, sort of thing. In that, recently you participate in the video, Panzil Malua, that also expressed this the silent sermon sort of thing. That is it from my side, Bhante. Much merit for the time.
You lost the term implicit. Explicit, tacit, and implicit. Implicit is the opposite of explicit. Explicit, you can say articulate. You can articulate it. You can explain the linear system and database. Implicit is within so much of words you imply something, you connotate something, not denotate it. So these words you last time you explained, you had it. So to make your talk complete, you have to give few explanation about implicit. Implicit means what you are hinting. Explicit is connotative. Implicit is denotative. So that in the Buddhist text, Nittipakarana is completely allocated for that. How the Buddha connotate, how the Buddha denotate, what is the Desana Vilasa, and sometimes he asks question or sometimes make use of the situation, and sometimes you wait for the situation to happen. When the time happens, explicit. So the Buddha is the master, and then Socrates and Nietzsche and Mula Madhyama Karika, Nagarjuna, they are masters. He's the logics, best logics in the human history. And Nietzsche also explaining the Arthur Schopenhauer's, and so ultimately he went mad. Nietzsche went mad. And he destroyed the whole Western philosophy. But he used to go to the pub. And daily, when he go there, he gives some coins on the table. And he's sitting on the same table. Daily, he put it back again into his pocket and go back. So after serving so much, the attendant, waiter, just say, sir, you come and do. I love to serve you. But you always keep some money and go back. Then he says, I keep it in order to hear something valuable in the pub. If it is so, I would like to give that. But so much I am coming daily, nothing they are talking valuable. They are talking nonsense. So I feel like I am the only person valuable. So I put it in my pocket. So likewise, he has written so much of books, the denotation and connotation. And philosophy is completely messed up between these two, what is denotating and what is connotating. And the Buddha did it with the silent sermon, the mere presence of the Buddha. Last time when I go to Subodharama, so far after the building, there was no statues. But today, this time, one statue was there. That not keeping statue also a very good sermon. And keeping the statue also good is Subodharama. And so here also he made this table and he wanted to give a Buddha statue. He asked me, then I told no. Well, we have the statue. So keep it. But people will blame, telling it's a valuable place. Why don't we keep the Buddha statue? I mean, Buddha is in your mind, at your heart. Why is the Buddha outside? Then you forget about your Buddha. So what is connotative and what's the denotative? And Vipassana Shunichan, I translated that it as the Vipassana Naya Prakarana. The early part, Mahasi Sayadaw is explaining the texture of the Buddha, how to approach this book. My translation is not so sharp. And he says, what are the connotative ideas, what are the denotative ideas? If you have no time, it's a 1,000 page. He says, if you have a problem, please read on chapter 5. Chapter 5 is for the common sense. But the others are going beyond the commentaries and analyzing all the way of arguing. I mean, rationality and arguments and all the kind of thing. So he thinks at his caliber, not only mindfulness enough. Well, mindfulness is not only enough only. We must understand the knowledge, because when you are sharing with others, the connotation and denotation. That is what in the media, if you are telling something, people understand it the wrong way and they start attacking. Then the other person come and say, this is not what I mean. By the time it is too late. So people are very impatient. They wanted to see the bad type of that person. And the media people are masters. They make use it. And then you are making use, every artist become a slave. Media people become the masters. Because they are very good in articulation. So thank you very much. I sent an email yesterday telling that
Yes.
tomorrow Janadipati Vidyalaya, you are close by your house, is happening whenever Dhamma Prasad is coming. And so he was talking with me. I told I will send a message to Vimal. Vimal will answer.
Yeah, I already answered. Actually, I will try. I will see. No issue.
Have you been earlier? Have you been there?
No. I tried a couple of times. It not happen actually.
So that if you are not going this time, I will be compassionate to you.
That is the thing. I will try, but it is something success, something unsuccessful. It is never mind, but I am trying.
Yeah, enough sticks. I know what to do. Okay.
Thank you. No, I checked actually this your wording. Explicit is suprakashita in the singular. The implicit is a vyanga. Tacit is holy tusnimbhuta sort of thing. This is explicit and implicit. There's a tacit is some another meaning. Connotative and denotative is a vyanga and prakashita sort of things. That is the tacit is explaining. The explicit also there. It is a vyanga or the sort of imitate or something. I don't know how to explain. The prakashita vyanga tusnimbhuta. This is the explicit, implicit and tacit. Much merit for time.
So that means it means beyond words. So therefore, you are searching in the dictionary, you are a fool. Does it mean something impromptu? It's improvisation. And it is a birthright. The dictionary is the meaning of the author's meaning. That bloody fellow has to find a real meaning. So they give artificial meaning. I mean, explicit implicit fairly within the language. So Venerable your Jnanananda, Katagurun, he says, language is so narrow And only the people believe language can proceed. Those who know the language is a so limited thing, they don't care about the theory knowledge. After a while, I read Osho. After reading one or two books, same thing. I read Krishnamurti. After reading one or two books, same thing. So likewise, Nietzsche, all the kind of, when you read even the next book, by looking at the topic, we can understand what be the content because we know the person. So that is, they are bounded to their vocabulary and their theory, and we recognize as he is a contributor to that kind of a literature. But that is not unlimited.
Can't you say the same thing for Buddha's teaching as well?
The Buddha's teaching you can understand because different Desana Vilasa. He is so radical, sometimes he is not talking. And the complicated, and sometimes mudra. And sometimes little bit of gesture. So these things very difficult to put in books. And after 2,500 years, now people searching about the mudra and the walking versus sitting. So his whole body is Dhammakaya. Well, Dhammakaya is called, that is, the body is a representative Dhamma. So pure. So therefore, the Buddha is, I find in the economics of scale. Ultimately, that basic things become a limiting factor. You have to reshuffle it. But in Vipassana, no scale effect. I am searching my best in the books. Still, I did not really understand what's the meaning of the economics of scale and the scale effect. But I know when the reptiles are growing, they shed off the skin. Because the whole skin can't help shedding. But in Vipassana, 18 Vipassana Jnana, the same idiot can go become an arahant. And we are not cutting off, we are not removing something. The bloody fool. With the bloody fool, that saint is living. And when he is changing from the bloody fool to the saint, he himself do not know. And they are in a full of a trouble. Am I progressing? It's a shifting of the weight. It's shifting from the pivotal point. It's so quick, there is no base. There is no characters. So education lost. Computer science lost. Language lost. But the Buddha master, be above everything. But the Buddha statue, Buddha's teaching, book knowledge, these are limited things. They give kind of a hint, but we have only that part. We follow it. But more and more you read it, you understand this is the what. Within the 45 years, is this the only thing Buddha teach? They would have so much of. When Jnanananda says, Jnanarama says, after he's teaching the Dhammacakka, Pavatana, after 5 days only he teach Anatta Lakkana. Within that, each and everyone he took individually and question and answers. If people go Pindapata, he has to bring all the food and Kondanya, Sotapanna through, Papa, Mahanama, Asaji, and one by one, we have to know where the discussion. I mean, so lucid, fractal brush Buddha. And each and everyone is making them Arya. But at last, he delivered Anatta Lakkana. So rational in Anatta Lakkana Sutta, the presentation. And within that, it's explained, it is not explained. So this is, Buddha must understand. So what about the God-given books? What about the holy scripts? Who is the author?
Yeah.
So these things, in linguistically, when they are going, epistemologically, all the holy scripts become a problem. That's why the philosophy becoming the kind of an alternative. But even Durkheim, Emil, he was talking about the cross-section of the society and talking about what was the past and what will be the future. He was a believer of God. I got that book, 6 existentialist thinkers, 3 of them God believers. Sartre was not. Nietzsche, not. Emil Durkheim, yes. And 6 people, very bright. And I find a very good relationship with that 6 existential, the thinkers and the Jnana Viras. Clearing the path. And then I see the relationship with the clearing path to Venerable Jnanananda. I told him, he denied. It is not an individual person. It's an evolution. I mean, rationality or the argumenting, it is not spiritual. It is not spiritual. And when I read the No Boundaries, Ken Wilber, the Western people hating me. What the hell, Bhante? What are you talking about? That you are a Buddha disciple. But now recently I found Ken Wilber also now appear like a saint. He's a spiritual person. The kind of a argumenting, it is cutting edge, going further and further. The Midigaspe, he was working as an electrician. He told Bhante, you don't know how the GPS came. They are rational thinking. There are some patterns. So it is being, you can learn them. So then I told everything comprehensive in Buddha's teaching. When you're mindful, you are exposed. Any people come and explain, but you are the person understand your openness and your possibility because of mindfulness. So it's such a international license. Wherever you go, you don't know. You don't know. A full license.
Yeah.
So it is epistemology, all the kind of thing involved.
Yeah, much merit, Bhante. I heard that in the Dhamma sermon also you stated about the Charanaya Saha Rachanaya. These are, a sort of parallel knowledge. The Rachanaya is the compost or the later sort of document. Charanaya is the action. What is the action taken? These are two knowledge. I think to mention about that also.
That's called fun, rachane, charane. The Buddha says, Vijja charana sampanno. Vijja is the what? Ashtavidya. Charana is the Buddha's dispositions, characters. Only Buddhists can see. Other people hate him. So they can't see charana. Buddha says, I have to be careful about the amount of food I am taking. Daily he is practicing. So how the hell we can understand? Because it is one of the Buddha knowledge. There is a lifelong experiment. And so much of thing under the Charana Dhamma, 15 Charana Dhamma. And this is the way Rachana and Charana happens. So what we do something and what we express is completely different. They never the Yatavadi, Tatahakari, Yatakari, Tatavadi. What we tell, what we explain, our companions will tell yes or no. Like when you are trying, expressing, that's why so much of marriages become divorce. Misunderstanding. Children and the parents, misunderstanding. Because they have something to hide. Then friction. So without hide, you have to be an Arahant. So we are in a learning process or articulation process. Okay, how do you call it? Vocalization. Nowadays is a turning point in our civilization. Due to the computers and media and sex and all the kind of things, cyber sex, some kind of new things. So normal ethics become undervalued. But if you lost the ethic, you have to suffer. Maybe sooner or later. But understanding today onward, you can start the other way. You can go against the grain. That is what the beauty of mindfulness. Okay, now 9:30. We have a school came today also. So therefore we are Kumar Bhagavad.
Okay, Bhante, now nobody is here from this side.
Right. Kalu Ahmaduro, is it in the loop?
Ehemai Swaminanse.
Would you mind to sum up?
No problem at all, Swaminanse.
Please.
Dear Venerables and friends, all participants joining from Nissarana, Vanaya, Katukeliawa, and over Zoom, having discussed and shared and listened the Dhamma. Whatever merits you may have accrued, we would like to extend them to our teachers, our parents and relatives, and all beings, large or small, great or subtle, far or near, seen and unseen. May all deities protect the Dhamma exposition and the Buddha's dispensation for a long time, and may the seeds of Dhamma we have received continue to grow, producing path, fruition, and eventually Nibbana. I invite everyone to join in the recitation of the traditional Pali verses for the sharing of merits.